Listen closely. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Warren Buffett said it, but Naval Ravikant gave us the engineering blueprint to solve it. Welcome back. I am Victor. Today, we are not talking about saving pennies on coffee. We are not talking about getting a slightly better salary or negotiating a 5% raise. We are talking about something much more fundamental. We are talking about escaping the trap of linear income entirely. We are talking about the wealth equation. Most people live their entire lives playing the wrong game. They play the status game, they play the salary game. They think if they just work harder, if they just put in more hours, they will become wealthy. But hard work, without the right vehicle, is just exhaustion. You see construction workers working harder than hedge fund managers. You see nurses working harder than software billionaires. The difference is not effort. The difference is leverage. You cannot get rich renting out your time. It is mathematically impossible. Your time is limited to 24 hours a day. If your income is tied to your time, your income is capped. To build true wealth, you must detach your inputs from your outputs. In this series, we are deconstructing the Almanack of Naval Ravikant. This book is not a typical finance book. It is a philosophy of wealth. It is arguably the most important business book of the last decade because it doesn't teach you what to do. It teaches you who you need to become. And today, in part 1, we are going to solve the equation of how to get rich without getting lucky. Let's define our terms, because most people are confused from the start. They chase money, but they should be chasing wealth. They are very different things. Money is how we transfer wealth. Money is social credits. It is a store of value, yes, but it depreciates. If you hold all your net worth in cash, you are slowly becoming poor due to inflation. Money is just the medium. Wealth is the thing that earns while you sleep. Wealth is the factory that runs at night. Wealth is the computer code that serves customers while you are on vacation. Wealth is the brand that sells products even when you haven't posted in a week. Wealth is assets that earn while you sleep. And then there is the enemy. Status. Status is your place in the social hierarchy. It is a zero-sum game. For you to be number 1, someone else has to be number 2. Status is a very old game. It has existed since we lived in tribes. We are biologically wired to care about it. But here's the problem. To win at status, you often have to lose at wealth. Buying the luxury car to impress people you don't like. That is trading wealth for status. Moving into a house you can barely afford just to show your neighbors you made it. That is status. It is a trap. Naval says, ignore the people playing status games. They gain status by attacking people playing wealth games. We are here to play the wealth game. It is a positive-sum game. When I build a business, I create jobs, I create products, I create value. Everyone wins. Focus on wealth, ignore status. So, if we are chasing wealth, where do we start? Naval gave us a very specific rule. You must own equity to gain your financial freedom. You must own a piece of a business. Let me tell you a short story from my own life. Before I understood systems, before e-commerce, I was a consultant. I had a master's degree. I was smart. I billed high hourly rates. I felt rich. But I wasn't. I was just a highly paid laborer. 1 month, I got sick. I couldn't work for 3 weeks. My income went to 0. That was the moment I realized I had no equity. I was renting out my time. The moment I stopped renting it, the money stopped flowing. To build true freedom, you need to be an owner. This could be owning stock in companies. It could be owning real estate. It could be owning a small business. Or it could be owning intellectual property, a book, a patent, a piece of code. Ownership is the only thing that allows you to capture the upside. If you work at a tech company and you write the code that makes them $1 billion, but you are just on a salary, you get a bonus. The owners get the billion. You must own equity. Now, let's talk about the variables in the wealth equation. How do you actually get equity? How do you build it? It starts with accountability. Society rewards people who take risks. This is the principal-agent problem. In any situation, the principal is the owner. The agent is the employee. The principal takes the risk. If the ship sinks, the captain goes down with it. If the business fails, the owner loses their capital. The employee just loses their job, which is bad, but they don't lose their life savings. Because the principal takes the ultimate risk, they get the ultimate reward. Taking accountability means putting your name on the line. It means saying, I will be responsible for this. I remember in 2017, during the early crypto cycle, I decided to allocate a significant portion of my net worth into Ethereum and Bitcoin. My peers told me I was crazy. They told me it was a bubble. If I was wrong, I would have looked like a fool. I would have lost my capital. That was the risk. I took accountability for that decision. But because I took the risk, when the market moved, I captured the upside. No salary could have matched the returns of that single decision. Accountability is scary. It makes you vulnerable to public failure, but it is the only way to get leverage. People will give resources, money, and opportunities to the person who says, I will handle this. Embrace accountability. Stop hiding behind a corporation. Stop hiding behind a team. Put your name on your work. So, wow, you are willing to take risks. You want equity. But what should you actually do? This brings us to the concept of specific knowledge. Specific knowledge is a weird term. Naval defines it as knowledge that you cannot be trained for. If society can train you to do something, it can train someone else to replace you. If you can go to a boot camp and learn your job in 6 months, you are a commodity, and commodities get paid the lowest possible price. Specific knowledge is found by pursuing your genuine curiosity. It is often at the intersection of your unique traits. What were you doing as a kid, effortlessly, that looked like work to others? Were you the kid who organized all the other kids? Maybe your specific knowledge is management and systems. Were you the kid who was always negotiating trades? Maybe it's sales. Were you the kid who obsessed over sci-fi novels? Maybe it's futuristic vision. For me, it was systems and patterns. I loved looking at chaos and finding the underlying order. I loved economics because it was a system. I loved law because it was a system of rules. I loved e-commerce because it was a system of logistics. I didn't study how to get rich. I just followed my obsession with systems, and eventually, I combined economics, law, and digital marketing into a unique skill stack that very few people had. That became my specific knowledge. Naval says, escape competition through authenticity. If you're trying to be the best marketing manager, you're competing with millions of other marketing managers. But if you're trying to be Victor, no one can compete with me on being me. You want to be in a position where the market comes to you because you are the only one who can do what you do. So, let's review. You have found your specific knowledge. You are willing to take accountability. Now, we arrive at the engine of the equation. This is the most important part. Leverage. Archimedes said, "Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth." In the wealth game, leverage is what multiplies your effort. Without leverage, 1 hour of work equals 1 unit of output. With leverage, 1 hour of work equals 1,000 or 10,000 units of output. There are 4 kinds of leverage. You need to understand these deeply. The first 2 are permission leverage. You need someone to give them to you. The first one is labor. This is people working for you. This is the oldest form of leverage. Kings had armies, factory owners have workers. Labor leverage is what your parents probably think of as success, being the boss, having a corner office. But labor is messy. Humans are complex. They have egos, they get sick, they need motivation. Managing people requires tremendous energy. It is a very difficult leverage to maintain. The second form is capital, money, investing, using money to make more money. This is very powerful. This is how I scaled my portfolio. But capital leverage also requires permission. You either need to be born rich, or you need to convince investors to give you money. It has a high barrier to entry. But then we have the new world, the permissionless leverage. This is where the game changes. This is where you can get rich in the modern economy without being born wealthy and without managing 1,000 employees. The third form is code. Code is the software that runs while you sleep. Think about Jeff Bezos. He didn't personally pack every book. He built a system, a code base, that could process millions of orders. Code has zero marginal cost of replication. Once you write the program, it costs nothing to let one more person use it. And it is permissionless. No one can stop you from learning Python. No one can stop you from uploading an app to the App Store. The only limit is your skill. An army of robots is already here. It's just inside the data centers, and you can command them. And finally, the fourth form, media, content. This video you are watching right now, this is leverage. I am recording this in my studio. It takes me a few hours. But once I upload it, thousands of you, maybe millions of you, will listen to it. I can be sleeping, I can be eating dinner, I can be on a flight. And this video is still working. It is delivering value to you. It is building my brand. It is a digital asset. The Almanack of Naval Ravikant itself is media leverage. Naval wrote these tweets years ago. Eric Jorgensen compiled them into a book. Now, that book is teaching millions of people, generating royalties, spreading ideas, without Naval having to give a single lecture. Code and media are the great equalizers. They allow an individual to have the output of a corporation. Look at the difference. A doctor has high specific knowledge, but a doctor has low leverage. They can only treat one patient at a time. If they stop working, they stop earning. A medical researcher who discovers a cure creates intellectual property. That is leverage. The cure can be replicated millions of times. A medical YouTuber who teaches preventative health uses media leverage. Their advice reaches millions. Same field, different leverage, different wealth potential. So, let's put the full equation together. Wealth equals specific knowledge plus accountability times leverage. You identify what you are naturally good at, specific knowledge. You take risks under your own name, accountability, and then you apply maximum leverage, code, media, capital, labor to scale it. But there's one final variable I must mention: patience, compounding. Naval says all the returns in life, whether in wealth, relationships, or knowledge, come from compound interest. This system does not work overnight. Building specific knowledge takes years of tinkering. Building a reputation for accountability takes years of delivering on promises. Building leverage, writing the code, building the audience, saving the capital takes time. I entered the crypto market in 2017. I didn't get the massive returns until 2020 and 2021. I built my e-commerce business for 2 years before it replaced my consulting income. You have to be willing to play the long game. Most people want to get rich quick. That is just another status game. Look at me, I made money fast. We want to get rich forever. That takes a system. The beauty of the wealth equation is that it is permissionless. You don't need a boss to promote you. You don't need a university to give you a degree. You don't need a bank to give you a loan to start a YouTube channel or write code. The tools are in your hands. The barrier is not money. The barrier is your own discipline and your own judgment. And that is the catch. Leverage is a force multiplier. It multiplies your judgment. If you have a lot of leverage and you make a bad decision, you don't just lose a little, you lose everything. If you manage $1 billion and you make a 10% mistake, you lose $100 million. If you have 1 million followers and you say something stupid, you destroy your reputation instantly. The more leverage you have, the more important your judgment becomes. Hard work matters less. Direction matters more. If you're running east looking for a sunset, it doesn't matter how fast you run, you're going the wrong way. With leverage, you are running at 1,000 miles per hour. You better be sure you are heading in the right direction. That is why part 2 of this series is critical. In part 2, we are going to discuss the judgment protocol. We will talk about how to think clearly, how to strip away your ego, how to use mental models to make fewer but better decisions. Because if you master the wealth equation, but you fail at judgment, you will build a tower of gold on a foundation of sand. For today, I want you to do one thing. Look at your current work. Look at your income source. Analyze it through the equation. Do you have specific knowledge, or are you replaceable? Do you have accountability, or are you hiding? Do you have leverage, or are you just renting your time? You don't have to quit your job tomorrow, but you need to start building your leverage on the side. Start the project, write the code, create the content, make the investment. Start building the machine that will one day buy your freedom. This is Victor. The path is simple, but it is not easy. I will see you in part 2.